What's up, y'all? Back with another YouTube video, and today I'm gonna give you a brief rundown on how to use a slate and also why it's important for audio, and I'm gonna show you the process of utilizing it on set. The goal of a slate is to link the audio files with the corresponding video files. It can also be used for slate organization too. Even slate and video files without audio is helpful for the editing process. There are different forms of slates you can use, and the most common ones are timecode slate, dummy slate, mini slate, and even if you don't have a slate at all, you can use your hands by clapping. You would save a lot of time on set by using the slate because it keeps everything organized and in order. Let's talk about labeling a slate. At first glance, you'll see that there are empty boxes in the slate where you can fill out information in. Where it says production, you put the name of the project you're working on. In the box where it says roll, you would put the number of the media card the camera is currently using, which would be A001, B001, C001, etc., and that will indicate the first take. A001 refers to A cam, and B001 refers to B cam. When on a roll, meaning the media card is swapped out for another media card, you bump the number up to A002. The scene section is where you want to write what's being shot. Usually, it's a couple of words or numbers, and it all depends on what the production calls it. You can label the scene however you want, just make sure it makes sense with the script, and it's easier for the editor to understand what's being shot. Keep in mind that when making a film, scenes can be shot out of order, so don't get locked into thinking every scene is shot in sequential order. Another thing to know is when a lens is changed, or if a camera physically moves in the same place of a scene, the scene number should update to a letter or has some type of indication that it's not quite the exact shot as before. Now let's talk about the director and the camera section next. This is where you write down the name of the director, and in the camera section is where you write the name of the cinematographer. Next, you can write down the day of production or circle day or night depending on the scene. For example, if you're inside a building shooting a night scene, but it's daylight in real time, you will still circle night because the narrative is set for that time despite it being day in reality. Then go ahead and make sure you circle INT, which means interior, or EXT, which means exterior. If there's no sound being recorded on set, then circle MOS, which means mid-out sound or motor only shot. That means there's no audio being recorded. I mentioned before that a slate will still help out in an MOS shot because the first frame the editor will see in the clip is the slate. The information from the slate will immediately save the editor time from scrolling and searching through random clips. That's how you label your slate. When you're about to slate in for a take, you make sure the audio and camera is rolling simultaneously. Otherwise, both forms of media won't get marked. Usually the director will say roll sound, then the audio mixer will say sound speeds, then the camera operator will say camera speeds. From there, you will call out the scene and the take. All right guys, here's an example. Laron slating, take one, mark. If you don't have a slate, you can use the talent's hands. Just make sure the talent holds of the fingers equal to what the take it is to the camera. Here's an example. Scene one, mark. Now we're gonna talk about labeling your mixer. In your mixer, you wanna make sure you label what scene and take it is. This process makes everyone happy so the editor isn't spending hours on looking for the audio clip that isn't labeled correctly. Now going back to the mixer, we're gonna use a digital slate with it. The big difference between the dummy slate and the digital one is the use of timecode within the slate. To get things started, you're gonna take a BNC cable and jam it into the timecode slate. And now it's on the same synchronization with the audio mixer and camera. There are more steps to this, and if you wanna learn more about timecode in the mixer, check out the link below. When working on the production, time can be critical and limited. And result of that, you can't always wait for the slate to begin shooting. That's where the phrase tail slate comes in. A tail slate is the mark on the shot that occurs at the end of the shot rather than the start of it. And usually you hear the phrase tail slate right before the take ends to remind the operators not to cut. The tail slate is called out before everyone cuts and is utilized to save time when it's running low. That ensures the editor is syncing up the film and understands what's going on. Make sure you hold it upside down, open it, then turn it right side up and mark it. For MOS shots, do the same thing, but don't clap it. For example, tail slating, take 3, mark. Thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. Please like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell for future updates. Also, everything I talked about today will be in the description below. Talk to you next time. Peace.